there is something really cool going on in the modding scene, and I'm going to show you guys what it is real quick. So, the Restoration Project has a Talking Heads mod that they've been working on for a little bit. And it's got a bunch of really cool looking talking heads. Let me look at them real quick. There's 10 of them on this list, but there's way more. You can just take a look. I'm not really sure who these characters are. Some of them aren't even in the RPU. Maybe they are. I'm pretty sure they all are. But anyway, this is what the Restoration Project has been working on for a little bit, or at least a couple of the modders in the Restoration Project. And they have a couple of really nice looking talking heads here, but they don't talk yet. So this next tab here is something that's happening right now. One of the main modders for the Talking Head mod is doing a casting call for actors, for voice actors, not, nothing professional or anything like that. But if you guys enjoy Fallout 2 modding and you want to contribute a little bit and you want to try and get in on the artistic part of it and wouldn't mind just to flex your acting muscles if you have any, and even if you don't, I assume they're not too concerned about that. But what I think they are concerned about is probably the quality of the microphone that you have. Anyway, let me go ahead and read this little article right here on r/classic fallout for the rest of you. Hope you guys enjoy this. A little bit of really fun news. Let's take a look. Posted by Sloth Johnson 6 days ago, looking for voice actors for Fallout 2, the Talking Heads mod. Hi everyone, I made a mod that adds talking heads to mini NPCs in Fallout 2. Here's a demonstration video. We can pull the demonstration video up. There's no actual talking in this video. But it is a bunch of the talking heads just kind of cut together. And there's 11 minutes of it, which is... Anyway, that was Clint. We got Arden Buckner here. We got Smiley before being saved. Smiley after being saved. A couple pieces of different pieces of artwork. It's really nice. Here's Rebecca Dyer, Metzger. And you know what? We're just going to go through the whole list. Hold on a second. Let me go back here. Guys, check out that video if you want. Let me keep reading here. We are currently looking for voice actors for all the NPCs covered in this project. Obviously, we're not looking for amazing performances, but a decent mic quality is preferred. Okay, cool. So there you go right there. If you want to go ahead and contribute, try and get as good a mic as you can and try and record with as good a quality as you can. That's what they're looking for. Here's a full list of all the available NPCs. It's quite extensive, so hopefully you'll find something you like. Here's the detailed list on Google Docs. There's also a condensed list here. I'll show you the two of them. And then right down here is a GIF. I want to read real quick. I'm not really sure who that character is, but that's the GIF. That's one of the talking heads. That's what they're casting for. Okay, and he finishes up with, if anybody's interested, feel free to contact us on Discord. There's a Discord link here and a Gmail here. I'll probably blur both of those out for the YouTubes. And we'll send you the script of the characters you wish to voice. Although you could actually just take a look at the script yourself, because if you just if you do a Google search for most of the talking head characters in here, there are a couple of new ones that don't exist in the original game, but if you do a Google search for the character that they're making a talking head for, you can find their actual dialogues their dialogue lines. For instance, let's take a look for Rebecca Dyer, or just Rebecca Fallout 2. And if you scroll down on this, you take a look at info right here. You can see dialogue Rebecca DC Rebecca.message. So that's her dialogue file. If you take a look through it now, remember how like 3/4 of these lines are for the player, so you have to kind of take a look for what Rebecca's lines are, but you can take a look at what her lines are and see if you want to read them ahead of time. Now that might not exist for the restored stuff that the Restoration Project brings in, but it'll give you a heads up for most of the other characters. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the talking heads list. We have Vic as a companion right here. So they start off with companions. It's pretty cool. You're going to have some talking head companions again. We got Vic with a really nice bald head right there. We got Lenny. You find him in Gecko. I was hoping he would glow a little more, but that's okay. Okay, we have Goris. Goris you find in Vault 13. Nice mean looking talking head. We have Skynet. I can't wait to hear who does that voice. That sounds like a really cool one. There are 2 or 3 different versions of Skynet, so I wonder if they're going to do voices for Skynet, the best brain, or Skynet normal brain, or Skynet chimpanzee brain, because there's all those 3 options are in the original game. So I wonder if they're going to do voices for all of them. Anyway, there's Skynet. Actually, I think only the best brain can actually have dialogue with you. Oh well. Anyway, and then here's K9. That is a cool looking dog. I'm very surprised that K9 looks like that, but okay. K9 is one of the best characters, though. Here's Robodog. Yeah, I believe this is the one that you find in the NCR with Doc Henry, I think. Anyway, Dog Meat, the classic Dog Meat. You can't go without voicing Dog Meat. I wonder who's going to do the voice for all three of these characters. Anyway, and then there's Miria. You find her in MODOK, and you might end up getting married to her if you're not careful. And Davin, Miria's brother, same things apply. Cat Jules. Now, Cat Jules is one of the new characters. He's Cat Jules is found in the EPA. He and two other characters, the ones that follow, are all companions to the player character, but how they do, I'm not so sure. I've only played the RP mod once, and they were okay characters. Anyway, you'll find them in the EPA, which is a new area that the Restoration Project has added on as part of restoring their cut content. Also, I think Cat Jules might actually be a reference to a character on Red Dwarf. But anyway, Cat Jules, Kitsune, I don't know how to pronounce her name. She is another character you will find right alongside Cat Jules in the EPA. Dex, I think that's another TV show reference. Another character that you'll find alongside Cat Jules in the EPA. And then in Arroyo, there's Clint, character you meet right at the start of the game. So there's only one in Arroyo. Well, and then in Klamath, there's Arden Buckner, the lady who sends you out to go looking for Smiley. Yeah, in the bar in Klamath. One of the bars. Anyway. And then there's Maida Buckner, who argues with you in the shop area. And then here's Smiley. This is the we saw already. This is Smiley after he's been rescued from the Toxic Caves. Usually meet him in the Toxic Caves and bring him back. And here's Slim Pickett. You'll find him right outside, or right inside the entrance to Klamath. Be sure to check his inventory by stealing from him. He'll have a Molotov cocktail stored in there somewhere. And here's Jenny, one of the prostitutes in Klamath. And here we are in the den. There's Metzger, the head slaver. Nice looking model. Here's Laura, one of the two rival gangs. I don't know, rival factions. One of the two rival factions in the den. Here's Tyler, the lead of the other rival faction. Rebecca Dyer, the bartendress in the den. Joey, the guy who stole the locket, if you know which quest I'm talking about. Mom, who gives you a big old plate of rat spaghetti. And here's the Umber Tribe. Now, the Umber Tribe is another restored area in the Restoration Project, and there is one character from the Umber Tribe that they'd like you to voice, although I would have thought there'd be at least a couple of others, but one for now. We have the Chieftain, and then down here we have MODOK. And Joe in MODOK is willing to cut off his finger to make a deal, so be sure to take that line of questioning. And that's all we have in... Oh no, we have one more. Here's Rose in MODOK, proprietor of Rose's Bed and Breakfast, those doors that always close behind you, but if you didn't know, you can punch those doors and break them down, so they will never close again. But anyway, and then here's Vigir, or Vager, or Viger, I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name. I feel like he's a reference to Star Trek, but I don't know. Another character in MODOK, this one's actually the leader of the Ghost Farm faction. Vault City, Counselor McClure. Counselor McClure, the only counselor who will actually talk to you in Vault City. Sergeant Stark, he's the head of the guards in Vault City. And then down here's Dr. Troy, the only doctor in Vault City. And then here's Phyllis, the only girl who will actually flirt with you in Vault City. And here's Valerie, Vic's daughter, who won't flirt with you, oddly. But she does have a very interesting conversation with Vic. Here's Connor, one of the farmers in Vault City. And here's the Abbey. The Abbey is another cut content that's been restored with the Restoration Project. And they're casting for the Abbot. I guess the head Abbot. Not sure which character exactly, because I don't remember the Abbey too well. But anyway, that character is being cast for. And then down here we have Redding. Redding has quite a cast of characters. We have Mayor Escorti. What an interesting model for that, especially the spikes on his shoulders. But there's Mayor Escorti, that's the mayor of the town. Sheriff Marion, who's one of the first quest givers you'll meet in that town. Very interesting character. Here's Luis, the owner of the Malamute Saloon in Redding. And Fannie Mae, one of the prostitutes in the Malamute Saloon. Painless Doc Johnson, the only doc in Redding. Marge LaBarge. Marge LaBarge is the leader of one of the mining companies. Cocoa Leaf Mining Company. And Dangerous Dan McGrew is the leader of the Morningstar Mining Company. There you go. And let's see who else we have next. We have Obadiah Hakeswill. This is the one who cut the hooker, if you played through that quest. In Broken Hills, there's Francis, one of the 3 or 4 super mutants that will talk to you. I think there's like 4 total that will have a conversation with you. Francis is the super mutant that challenges you to an arm wrestling match. with interesting results if you lose. And here's Typhon. The goal gives you quite a few quests, one of the more notable ones where he sends you out to go find a blow-up doll. Chad is a new character that's been restored from the cut content for Fallout 2. This character you can find in Broken Hill's caravan area. Here's Steve. Steve is the greeter for Broken Hills. And that's everything we got in Broken Hills. All right. And here in New Reno, we have Big Jesus Mordino, or Big Jesus Mordino. I'm not really sure how they intended it to be pronounced originally. I'm curious how they're going to pronounce it when they actually record the audio. I wonder if they have any sources for the original authors and how they intended it. Anyway, Big Jesus Mordino here, and Little Jesus Mordino with his knife. You'll find both of these in New Reno, of course. Marjorie Reed, you'll find her at the stables on the way to pick up Myron if you want to actually gain him as a party member. And then we have Louis Salvatore, one of the crime bosses in New Reno. And Mason, Louis Salvatore's second in command. And then we have John Bishop, another crime boss in New Reno. Leslie Ann Bishop, his wife, but you can have some pretty interesting conversations with her. I highly recommend checking her out sometime as a character, just talking to her. Angela Bishop, the daughter. More conversations with her that are funny. And then here's Orville Wright, the third crime boss in New Reno. And then Jules, watch out for this guy. This guy is the greeter at the front of New Reno's entrance. And if you bring your car there, just watch out for him. Anyway, here's Miss Kitty, also in New Reno. She's the owner and proprietor of the Cat's Paw. And you can see clearly what her character is supposed to be like. Stuart Little, I'm not sure if this is the best model, but he's pretty decent. Stuart Little is the guy who trains you in boxing and gets you involved in the boxing matches in New Reno. Father Tully. Wow, that's a really happy, drunk Father Tully there. Anyway, this character you can find in New Reno. He will offer to divorce you if you got married in MODOK, or he will have conversations with you about some of the other characters in New Reno. And if you come back at the end of the game and talk to him again, he'll give you the Fallout 2 hymn book. And here's NCR, starting off with Roger Weston, one of the council members in the NCR. Ranger Chief Elise, she has one quest in the NCR, which is to free the slaves. Dr. Henry, this one's kind of a crazy wacko in NCR. I believe this is where you can find the Robodog at. And then Mira, this character, if you have a low intelligence character and are evil, this character will give you the job to go assassinate her husband, her ex-husband, I mean to say. And here's Vault 13 and 15. Vault 13's Gruthar, the leader of the pack in Vault 13. Darian is the leader of the Khans Raiders in Vault 15. That is an interesting looking character model. He's a bad guy, but you still have a conversation with him. Chrissy is one of the townspeople in Vault 15 that was kidnapped by the Khan Raiders there. And then here's Navarro. Dr. Schreiber, the evil doctor in Navarro, experimenting on Deathclaws. And San Fran, we have AHS-9, the leader of the Hobologists here. And then AHS-7, I believe the second in command. And then Vicky Goldman and Juan Cruz, the two characters that are just there to recruit people into the cult of Hobology. And then Kin Lee, the leader of the Shi faction in San Fran. Wang Yatesi, I think this is Dr. Wong. That is an interesting character model for Dr. Wong, but okay, anyway, this is Dr. Wong in San Fran. And then the Dragon, who is one of the two characters fighting in the ring the first time you enter San Fran. The first time you enter it. The second time they won't be there. Or you might break it, actually, if you leave early. Anyway, the Dragon, one of the two opposing characters fighting in the ring. You can train under him. Lo Pan, one of the other opposing character fighting in the ring. You can train under him as well. Lao Chao, one of the Shi merchants in San Fran. And then Captain A. Ron Myers. I believe that's a reference to Captain Ron, but anyway, Captain A. Ron Myers, who is the captain of the Valdez, the tanker that you use to get to the end of the game. Then here's Badger, one of the characters on the tanker that helps you get to the end of the game if you choose to use his resources. Susie, Badger's girlfriend, she's trapped in the hull of the tanker with all the aliens and monsters around her. And then on the Enclave oil rig, we have Vice President Bird. And I believe this character is supposed to be a reference to Dan Quayle. In my opinion, if you want to have some fun with this, take a look at Dan Quayle, the way Dan Quayle used to talk in all the old political commercials. And I believe that's everybody here. I don't know why the rest of these are blank, but that looks like that's everybody. Page break. Okay, cool. I believe everybody was covered. We got Clint, Arden, and then the SAD, the Sierra Army Depot. That's the name of the military base I could not remember earlier. It was the Sierra Army Depot. And Skynet there. And I cannot wait to hear what kind of voices they come up with for Skynet. The Dragon, and Matthew, I believe, is the only character that was not on that list. I'm not sure exactly who this character is. Let's take a look real quick. Okay, cool. So now we know who Matthew is. He's the only Brotherhood of Steel that actually exists anymore. So if Matthew is one of the characters on this list, and it's not a typo or something like that, then you can also take a look at Matthew's character here if you want to go ahead and volunteer for this. Vice President Bird and other just being dog meat. All right, so that's everything I could think of to show off here for this. If you guys want to, go ahead and check out the Discord link or the Gmail link here and offer to volunteer your voice for this mod. This is actually probably the biggest mod in the modding community up to this point. It's not like a complete overhaul or anything like that, but it does add quite a bit to Fallout 2 itself. It does also patch a bunch of exploits that I really wish it wouldn't, but besides that, it's still a really good mod to hang on to. Probably the first mod you should check out if I was going to recommend a mod for people who wanted to play a modded version of Fallout 2. That's the first one I would check out.